Water runs downhill always.
We're not up.
We are right now.
But on the other side of that, it's right. Natural flow of the water. I ain't taking up something, I'm just saying natural flow. Naturally.
That's the whole thing. It didn't run that way, because I could put a cover and make it work. It's like, I drain my yard in the year. But that thing is making, we shouldn't make our part, but the guys are fine, so they,
No.
my thought, if I want to do that to them, you think they'll let me do it? No.
I mean, I ain't thinking.
I'm not lying.
But in the city, you can dump water and stay. You feel better. Technically, you can't do that. Put in a spring drain or something, you can't run it over on your neighbor's yard. You gotta run it to the curb. You gotta go run it to the curb and dump, just run it out.
That get to the storm water.
Yeah.
Drainage system.
That you could.
Okay, that's why I figured.
That what this little first.
That's just what it's, there's a loan arrangement, 4%, we're gonna give it to 5 years.
That's a very good deal. Yeah. So.
At the bar. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, no. Everybody just wants to see
Do it again.
Oh, no.
Hey,
Welcome to the slide. That's what, that's the only, we're watching, sitting here for a second, on my own spot.
I think we had these in previous past. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Good enough.
No.
All right, we're gonna call our work session to order. Number one on the docket, Mr. Percy Burgess, co-arm tutoring is not available. The,
Both been buried.
is he on
Big
the,
around here.
He presented the proposal back
Yeah, he was here, what,
in December.
but two times ago.
what was did we get the total amount that we had given in the past?
1,000.
It was 1,000, okay.
And he was requesting 3,000.
Right.
Anybody have any additional thoughts on that? He did present already.
Oh, yeah, yeah, he's been here.
Okay. Did you hear in the past, we've given been given a thousand?
So he's already there.
All right. Now we got this. Then we've got a representative here from Southern Software to talk to us about bringing our dispatch back to the house from 911.
Well, sure. Chief wanted me to talk, or he wanted to say something first. I'm Neil Brooks of Southern Software. Southern Software is based out of Southern Pines, North Carolina. We're a public safety software company. We've got about 143, I think is my current number, agencies in the state that use our software in some way, shape, or form. So you've got a black envelope that we passed out earlier that's got our proposal. We talked with the chief and the mayor about doing three things that are broken up into some acronyms that you're probably not familiar with. CAD. CAD is our dispatch software. So it would be what the operators would use to track and log their calls. RMS is records management. That is incident reports, arrest reports, warrants, anything that is related to the officer's paperwork and tracking. And then JMS, which is the jail management software for anything inmate related. And NDIS is the mobile version of those softwares that would go in the patrol car for the officers to be able to use. It's this is done as a kind of a package deal. So that would be all of the things that would be necessary to get all of the platforms for our software for your officers to be able to use. That was a 3-minute version of about an hour talk. So I'll be glad to answer any questions about that. I don't know how in depth you want to get.
I guess for the record, for everybody up here, right now, we're currently paying just over $217,000 a year to 911 for these dispatch services.
That was my question. Yeah, I was gonna ask where we at with that.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And this total, this is the initial cost, or is this the annual?
This is the first 2 years worth. So we've got this broken up in what we consider a 50-50 contract. You pay half first year, half second year. And that includes your maintenance and support for both those years. You look over on your second and subsequent pages, anywhere that you see that line item for yearly support or yearly subscription, those would be your go forward prices after those first 2 years. So the first 2 years, it's included in that 105 number. And then the yearly support figure for the dispatch software and for the records management, jail management, all those follow in that yearly support. So that would get you your budgetary number going forward. And those are done as 2-year numbers in this. So take that number and divide it by 2.
So going forward, we would be 105, just over 105 every year.
No,
After the 2 years.
after that would be first year and second year. And then beyond the first 2 year cycles would be
99,608, is that correct? And at the 4th page of the document, looks like.
so you see the yearly support on the bottom of the dispatch page is 17,200, and then 7,500, which is our mobile app. And again, take those numbers and half them because that's 2 years. Unless you want to continue doing 2-year cycles, we can do that also. So that you're only paying support every other year. Whichever way works out better for your budget is fine with us. So you're looking at 17,200 plus 7,500 plus 84,000, and then divide that by 2. And I can't do that number in my head.
Oh, wait a minute, where? Hold on. That is-
Yearly report. This is 2 years worth. That number plus that number.
Okay,
Divided by 2,
okay,
and then over 2 pages. And then that number again divided by 2.
18.
Those would be your budgetary numbers past that first 2 years. The first 2 years includes all your training, setup, and purchase, and then beyond that, it is just support agreements.
Miles. Yeah. Yeah, so this gives us, and Chief,
Yes.
this gives us, what does this give us? I mean, what precipitated this entire discussion to begin with?
Something, I guess we went to 911 of 2015 or 16. Under that agreement, this was before I think I was a lieutenant. Under that agreement, 911 promised us a designated dispatcher, which they said. So part of that cost that you're seeing, that 217,000, is for wages, which we've already got that labor now. So we wouldn't be out, that's what a lot of that, because my jailers will become dispatchers. And, so the labor part's already in our budget. My main concern was, officer safety. There's been called if we not got the right information, wrong location. And I think y'all know as well as I know, our dispatch time, our response time, on average, we dispatched ourselves probably less than 5 minutes. Now you're looking at 10, 15 minutes. Our line of work, 6. So that's what I started pushing forward. Even after we was at 911 for about 3 or 4 years, this was visited. It's always been the cost, because that's where we put the money's at, in the labor of manning dispatch. So I wanted to try to convert our jailers back to dispatchers. We got a new camera system. I've added new cameras, so far as the routine, we don't have the numbers in our jail as we did 10 years ago. We used to keep 20 to 25 people all the time. Now we're running less than 10 inmates now. So my biggest concern, we're trying to go back to our dispatch, is our safety, citizens get better service. It's always been a money issue. I started reaching out to this research. Plus, we got data that's dead in the water, has been dead. I'd like to get back at least Oregon. This also also shows we signed up with this, we have access to their database, they would have access to all of our records too, so it kind of intertwines. So
Are we under any kind of contract right now with them?
right now,
Yes.
this year,
It's, yeah, until, September 30th. So it was October, they signed it, October of this past year, yeah, of course.
when I
And,
started working on it, you had to.
yeah, we had,
We
had to.
But I actually started looking on this, last year?
We devote to the fall or something like
Yeah, and it wouldn't, there wasn't enough time frame to.
Yes.
So that's why I brought it back up, tried to implement
Yeah,
it.
and then this entire process, because there's a lot of data involved. So this entire process from when we initiate,
that. 6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so this is kind of the time to make that decision, because this will put us in place for, right.
Yes. And there's also on there, there's some stuff that we will have to purchase that's not included in that. That's server, things, other equipment that we'll have to, it's gonna be, but that's a one-time thing. We talked to our IT guy, he said we try to get our servers for about 7 years. So about every 7 years, we'll have to, I mean, that's any server. So,
And for the benefit of, council, when we had this meeting, our, ICS, was in the house, the guy that handles all the, IT downstairs. Was also in the meeting and spoke to, the server, the phone lines and everything else that we would need to make this happen.
and there, we've also currently running AT&T, Geotab, GPS, in our vehicles citywide. This software is also integrated with that, so dispatch be able to see where our cars are on the map and stuff.
And Muscle Shoals.
Yeah, I think,
If we can set up a share between the two with, as long as there's paperwork and MOU between the two aides.
which I don't think that'll be.
Yeah.
So Chief and Mr. Brooks, so the software that you're talking about now, is that a part of this note section and the proposal where it doesn't include provisions for data conversion? Is
Yeah, well, what it
so
is,
it's part of that?
currently we run on our software system called Stillman. We've been on it since, I want to say 98 or 2000.
Okay.
So we've got about 25, 26 years of data. And that's kind of set dormant. And what they can do, they can transfer it over the live database and rough estimate $30,000. That's where the time frame, time constraint, because that data's got to go back and forth, make sure that data's getting transferred correctly in the right boxes.
Okay.
So that'll be something, but they can also set it up as a archive that we can research that. I mean, we can
You have access to it, but it's not in the live production
Yeah.
model, so we don't have to wait on training officers, training administrators to be able to start the process.
So
If we're doing a live conversion, I would say our time frame to get you live would be more like 12 to 14 months.
okay, so the 30,000 is for the conversion section. Is
Yeah,
that right?
If that's a ballpark, yes, we've not had a chance to analyze that data yet. We're gonna do some.
I'll
The
just
IT guys are gonna do a little
Yeah.
work to be able to get access to that old archive.
I was just looking at the notes section, just trying to see if there was a ballpark of what we're looking at. So the 30 is one part, that's the conversion part.
I say, what would we, around 20,000 or so for a new server.
He mentioned 15 to 17.
About 17.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that did include some of the recommended upgrades. That's just keep the server.
Yeah, that's a monster box. For that. And it
Well,
really
I
needs to be.
mean, we're running, I'm not the exact running number, but we basically got, I know at least 20 something vehicles running computers. So we got 21 officers running around the city. So that's that's a lot of communication and data. There were some things that he recommended where we don't lose connection when we are out here running around, because most of this is running on cellular.
Mhm.
So there were some things where we kind of, that's on the unseen,
Right,
but it's, and then I think the other equipment was backline recording for our radios, for our phone lines, so we'll have audio recordings.
Yeah. And then the cellular part was made, more stable because the, transmitter is right there on that tower right there, on the AT&T tower right there behind us. So we had some pretty heavy duty download speeds. We good? Anybody? Yeah. Lisa?
are we looking at expenses in that 8 months that we're gonna have?
From our side, I don't foresee anything else until we get ready to do that data conversion. And that can be done at any point after the fact. So the whole thing, there's the hardware that you mentioned, like, the server, but that would be outside of us, yeah. We try our best not to do more.
So I don't have to do what he's saying is I don't have to do that conversion. I can do that later. But we will have to purchase the recording equipment, the server. That's gonna be your $5 item.
Okay, just so we're clear, let's say, for example, if we engaged in this today, then our cost for your service, this, this whole system, that begins once it's already in place, correct? I mean, we don't have,
We would have one payment now and then another payment later. We would have,
So we would have to pay you, or would we wait
which-
until we take over?
which one had the contract? I was running short on paper and all this.
Right here,
Yeah.
proposed payment, well, scheduled.
Yeah, but that would actually got to be.
well, I guess what Lisa's asking is, you know, we're paying on a monthly basis now for, 911. Okay.
It's been a minute since I've done one of these 50/50 splits. I don't remember exactly how the payment schedule reads. Yeah.
So this is due upon signing of the contract.
So that would be,
So no, that 6 to 8 months doesn't start until we sign this thing.
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So we would, okay,
so that is what puts you in the queue with our other projects at the office.
okay, so
Once we're into that
that's,
queue,
that's something to consider. So we'd be basically double dipping on our expense, right? The half is 105.
At signing. The signing of the contract.
Yeah, and if he's saying we would have to sign it, whenever we sign it, put us in the queue for them to put us on the,
To get going.
you know,
that's what triggers the beginning of our project management cycle.
wait until something would have to be.
Correct. You got to ramp up on parallel for a little bit so that we're ready to go by.
Okay.
And I'm
So
waiting to
that-
do some sweet talking on our side to make sure that happens, that I got that far.
So that's a consideration, right?
So just as a forecast, just a forecast. So at signing, let's just say that's August, September. Well, anyway. So is there like a forecast? Cause at that point, we're in the queue.
Correct.
So is there a forecast of when it may start?
We're running 6 to 8 months
Yeah.
concurrently right now.
Gotcha.
So that kind of leaves the question if, come September 1st or September 30th, October 1st, would we be able to negotiate or go to a month with 911 in the interim while this is going, right? Because,
We just have to negotiate with them. I
okay,
don't know what they're willing to do.
okay. But either way, we're double dipping. We're double dipping on our expense. Right. Now this, you know, and we're not doing this, I mean, the whole purpose of this is not necessarily a cost savings. It just turned out that the numbers pretty much justify it from a cost savings standpoint. Pretty significant.
It's been on.
And, so whatever we pay extra for this first year while we still have both ends of this thing, would make up, fairly quickly in the next couple of years. In savings.
Yeah. But like you said, we're double dipping. You gotta look at it from that angle. 'cause
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Gotta be able to.
Not mine.
Okay.
Here, excuse me, Mayor, before we move forward, can we go back to, the first item on our agenda?
Yes, ma'am.
I would like for us to consider giving the tutoring center $2,000 instead of 1,000.
Okay, we can, we can consider that. We're not on the on the agenda already. It's not. Any thoughts on that?
That extra $1,000 would come out of the 20,000 that we had allocated for the year, is that correct? So in addition to the 2,500 that we gave to the basketball team, we would have another 1,000, so we'd be at $3,500 that we would have donated before January ended. That's the only thing I would consider. That's the only thing I would consider about that. I'm not opposed to giving it to them. I know we already have 1,000 budgeted, so that's why I would say, potentially table it for a little bit. Because when you're talking, see, is that 17.5%, and we're just through the first month? Am I my math right on that?
Yeah.
That's only, that's my concern. That's my only.
I still would like to consider the $2,000. Thank you.
So if we're gonna vote on that, then we're voting yea or nay for $2,000, correct? Because I'm in favor of, I'd be in favor of, keeping it like we've been doing it. At $1,000. I mean, but, we can consider, we can vote on it one way or the other. I have a preference there, but
I'm kind of like you, I mean, in a perfect world, we had abundant, I'd like to help everybody we can, but
what we're limited based on, I guess, then it comes down to a question of, what, how many folks are we, how many of our kids are we actually helping with this particular program relative to the 5 other mentoring programs within a 3 or 4 mile radius?
Could a solution be, the $1,000 maybe perhaps covers the first half of the year, and then we revisit it halfway through the year, to possibly do another $1,000. My thing is just, again, of the 20,000 that we have allocated to get to this, we get $3,500 that we've given away before the month of January was over. That's my only concern. I think it's a good cause, but that's the only thing I wanted to mention.
I'd be in favor. I'd be in favor of doing that. Revisit it in 6 months. For the other part of it. Otherwise, I mean, we're welcome to vote on 2,000 tonight if you want to go that way.
I just like to hear the thoughts of other council members.
It's like half now, halfway, look at it later. See where we're at toward the end of the year. Do the 1,000 today or next meeting, whatever. Look at it here later on down the line. We've only got so much money allocated. Gonna be several other projects come up. In the meantime,
Our school system,
and
I mean, but that way we can dole out basically what we've been doing, and then revisit that for an additional amount later in the year. Is that you were?
I'm all for it.
I was just gonna ask, and maybe we've covered it before, and maybe you may have already addressed it. Within that 20, Lisa, do we know what could possibly come forward?
No way to know, but
Okay.
you're gonna have quite a few.
Gonna have several.
Especially if we're doubling everything we're doing.
Yeah. They doubled us, you better get them.
You'll have,
Can you repeat that again? I'm sorry.
you'll have WC Handy, you'll have, I'm talking this little rascal. We'll have WC Handy, we'll have, Kiwanis. Hospital Foundation. Yeah, the Hospital Foundation, there's a ton of stuff that's gonna come through this door before this fiscal year.
And 3 or 4
Baseball, anything, they're gonna come and they're gonna ask. And it's hard to say no, but there has to be a point. We be careful. Be diligent with what we set aside.
And give it all away at one time and then. toward the-
Yes, that sounds reasonable.
Councilwoman Finch, I hope that we will have come June, July, we have another 1,000 that we can allocate to them. That would be great. We're in our second meeting of 2026. And that's my concern.
Yes, but he presented before.
Understood.
Sure.
Understood.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't be able to guarantee it, we get 1,000. That's what I'm looking at. I don't want, I don't want to say 2 and then vote it down and we don't have any.
Absolutely.
So I want to make sure we get him something.
Yes,
And then,
that's reasonable.
and then going forward, we're gonna end up amending the budget that we have. And
Yes.
that's not to say that we don't end up, with add more to that. I don't know what that's gonna look like. That's up to all of us, but,
That sounds reasonable.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, we don't want to MC Hammer it right out of the gate.
You have that on the record? There you go.
Thank
So
everybody who's
replacing
voted
that
up to
on
get
the
that
agenda.
reference.
We're placing that on,
Yeah.
to be voted on later, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Where, there it is. The Second Street paving project. It's the resurfacing and traffic striping from, Second Street intersection, which is, from Cox Boulevard to First Street. And which is the first intersection there past Dover, at the bend where it begins to merge with First Street. NACOG and the Civic Group, it's the engineering firm that's involved in this project. Just like we did with the recently almost completed paving project that we had. We were able to increase the scope of that project after they began because of the rate they gave us. And then by virtue of the excellent rate that they did give us, we were able to add more mileage to that current paving project. The folks at NACOG and the Civic Group would like to try that again and get that paving project extended past that intersection all the way to Montgomery. So that would include, we would end up trying to go for the rest of First Street all the way to Montgomery there in front of, and for that intersection in front of Atlanta, the Atlanta crossing.
So from Cox Boulevard to Montgomery, is what you're saying?
Well, if it's possible.
Okay.
But this project is, as stated, is from Cox to, that first street intersection. Which, we have 2 lights right there pretty close together. And so it would be the first one.
Right.
Past Dover. Everybody good with it? Any questions? We have overtime and compensatory time policy amendment. This has been the talk of the town this week here at City Hall. Lisa, you want to can you give us a clip notes on this?
We had an overtime policy in place that was adopted back in October of 2018. I've been looking through it, it needed to be updated. it had the police department listed as not being able to accrue overtime until they reached 86 hours. So we went back and tweaked that and made that 84 because they work an 84-hour shift bi-weekly. So that way, once they work 84 hours, they're able to acquire overtime. FLSA says that we're required at 86, but I have went back and double checked that, and we can do the 84. The fire department was already compliant with what we already had in place. And the only other change that we changed was we just added in the cemetery to tell, because they have on-call hours that they are automatically added to their paycheck. So does our detectives. So does our the foreman in the street department. So we just put that in here so that everything is in here like it should be, so that our overtime policy was correct. And then it meets the guidelines of the FLSA, which it already did. The only thing, like I said, I changed was the 84 for the police department. Changed it from 86 to 84. So I just wanted y'all to approve it so that we could have it current in our files.
And sick leave, vacation,
Yes.
and holiday.
Does not count by law. You have to physically work. You can't use sick time or vacation or anything like that to count as time worked. You have to actually work the time allotted before overtime kicks in. And we checked with other cities and they.
Was that not understood?
Evidently, we did have a little kickback in, but we're
It was adopted
in 18.
back in 2018, but never actually implemented.
It was in some departments, but evidently not downstairs in the police department. So we're trying to get everything fixed like it should be.
Any questions on that? Ms. Finch? No. No. Bruce?
Chief,
I was trying to clarify something on that. I understand like the, sick time or vacation time. But say in an 84-hour week, I have to use a sick day. I understand that don't go towards that other. But if I have to come in and cover an overtime shift, I understand I don't get overtime. But
You get paid. You just don't.
I get paid, but
overtime rate.
do they take the sick time too?
Yes. You use your sick time for when you're off. But you have to physically work. Your body has to be here, physically work the hours that you're supposed to work, like for y'all in
Yes,
the
you
84.
get over.
To get overtime.
Yeah,
Yes.
I understand that, but
Yes.
what I'm saying is, so in an 84-hour week, I call in sick, right? And then I have to come in the next week and I'm forced in to work 12 hours. Do you take 12-hour sick time and not give me overtime?
Yes, sir, because you took a sick day. You were paid your sick day. Yes, you may have to come in and work out,
Like I said, I'm not arguing.
And I'm not, yeah, we have asked, we've clarified this because you have to physically work. And your body has to be here and work those hours before overtime kicks in. You get paid the regular rate. Just like you took that sick day, you wasn't here. So we can't pay you as if you were here on regular hours. You understand
Yeah,
what
I
I'm saying?
understand that. But then the next week I'm forced in. I'm not, I was supposed to be off this day. We're short, I forced somebody in, they work 12 hours. That pay period, that's payroll hasn't been done. So you're going to deduct, you're going to pay, I mean, I'm saying, so what I'm getting at is a total of hours would be like 100 something. I would only get paid for 90 something.
No, you're getting your pay total. You're not missing any pay. You're just not getting that half pay on that.
Yeah, I understand.
Time until you reach those
getting
hours.
at is it balances out. If I got a sick day, I had to take a sick day because I'm sick. Next week,
But
I work. I'm forced into work. I should just have 84 hours.
No, you took a sick day though, darling, when you were off. You took a sick day. That's a sick day. That's, yeah.
Do what?
That's, Megan, that's what he's asking. I think we're
Yeah.
confusing.
Give that
what
back
we
to
need
Mike.
to do week. So Megan, go ahead and please explain.
So it's broken down, it's 84 for a bi-weekly, but it's broken down individually, so it'd be 42 hours per week. So if you take a sick day in week one, that sick day counts towards week one. So if you work all of your time, your normal time on week two, plus you work an extra day, that's fully counts as overtime pays. It's just, it counts in the week that you took the sick day. So like if you worked an overtime day in the same week that you took a sick day, then it would be paid at regular time. But if your overtime day is in the other week and you work that full week, then it's the overtime rate. Welcome to my world.
So in that pay period, there would be overtime, but it would only come from the second week. That's what you're saying.
Those hours are
So
figured.
there would still be overtime.
Instead of
It would be overtime, but, and that's fine, but what if, say, don't take that overtime, I'd rather have that sick day. You know what I'm saying? Because, some people don't have as much sick time as others. So you say, okay, I was forced and I had to work. But now you pay me that overtime, pay, I understand that. But according to that, you said you have to hit a certain time period in that 84-hour week. You're telling me if I
If you
took
work
that sick day,
got 42 hours you got to physically work each week.
but in 84, I'm talking about a 2-week pay period. I worked 72 hours. I took 12 hours sick. But during that same time period, I had to work 12 hours instead of paying me whatever my overtime rate was. Wouldn't it just, if you're gonna pay me overtime, that's fine, but what about that sick day? Now,
But if you took a sick day, Jordan, you took a sick day. You got to physically work before it counts in the overtime.
I got a question about that. Just like what's coming up this weekend, if I have some of the guys that took vacation day and then it snowed Saturday, they not coming in for straight time. Okay.
That not be different.
There's a section in here for hazard pay. Emergency call, it's in the overtime calls. For your guys that work 80 hours. Yeah.
They still be compensated. About what this is.
So, but bottom line, this policy that we're talking here is in accordance with the FLSA, the Fair Labor Standards Act. Okay.
Yeah, say, just for instance, say when your guy was off Friday, and you had to call him in Saturday or Sunday, he would get 4 hours. He'd get overtime because that's an emergency call out. So that wouldn't affect about what this one says. So he'd still get, he wouldn't be penalized. Just by my opinion.
Any more questions? I mean, it's confusing, actually. It is.
I understand it's
You understand?
At least if you were to break that down in front of the chief week by week and him see how that works.
Well, to
I
the
think
to
he
the
can-
staff,
he
as
can
long as it's
see what
clearly
you-
communicated, that's where.
Yes, he can see.
So this has been, this part's been in place for over a year now. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's something that's already been implemented that they've been doing.
Right. I just meant for clarity purposes for him, so that he can understand. Because he has a question, he's not getting the answer he needs for his clarity.
But well, that's what I'm trying to say. You got to work those 42 hours in that week. I don't know how much else I can make clearer. You got to physically work the 42 hours before you can get overtime.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I mean, I mean, if you, does that make sense? I mean, it may not make, look, we don't make these guidelines. They're given to us to have to sit here and implement. We don't like it any more than Megan probably right here hates it more than anybody because she's got a ton of extra work that's got to be done because of this. On top of tax, regular tax stuff. So.
Moving on, purchase of the Beast Power Washing Grid via the NACOG revolving loan fund. NACOG's given us a 4% rate over a 5-year period, which is a pretty doggone rate. In case you guys, this was in previous packets. I've got the quote. Y'all, we got these a couple of times. I have some printed out.
Does that have a rate on there as well? On that?
No, this is just a quote from the manufacturer.
Yeah.
Outlining, detailing, what all's included in that total amount.
I remember it's kind of itemized.
Yeah, no, it's,
Yeah, that was out of the law. Yeah, I remember. But it was just
So-
itemized.
Mayor, the one question I would ask, so I know this is gonna be, we get this up and running, this is gonna be a huge part of the 365 movement, or the efforts that we have. But, so $2,000 a month over 5 years, are we hopeful that it's accomplished much of its work in 2 years, Or does that make sense what I'm asking? Will we need it for 5 years? Is it something that will continually?
we're gonna continue to use it.
Okay,
And two or three times a year citywide.
okay, so it's something we would move forward long term, okay?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
No, we the first time it can be difficult and very messy because it's never been done before. Second time will be incrementally easier, and then after that going forward, it's we should be able to just plow through the whole city in a couple of days.
Later, are we gonna look at paying that a big asset?
Is that where it needs to come from?
Y'all ultimately need to tell us, because we need to keep that in our resolutions for y'all want us to pay for some. That's what we would recommend.
Yeah. Fixed asset. That equipment is that's the sum total of the entire initiative. I mean, not the dollar amount, the equipment itself is I guess the linchpin or the cornerstone of the entire effort. And we have a group of gentlemen that are going to help us with in some cases as we go through the city is with chemicals and EPA compliance. ADM doesn't appreciate us washing anything down the drain, down the sewer drains. So it'd be ballasts covering the sewer drains and EPA compliance. So is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. And then, let's see, creation of the executive assistant to the mayor position. I've got an internal, job description, they're formal. I'm looking over that. In the pay scale would be, the same as we have 4 or 5 employees currently, in the same pay scale as administrative assistants. Yeah. This particular assistant would report directly to the mayor's office.
How quickly are we trying to get this filled? This position?
Yesterday.
Okay.
So if this is approved tonight, we can say something
Yes,
out in the public.
yes.
As far as, you know,
Is, well, that's, so it would be, so there's no time frame. Is there a public period that we have to have this? Okay. Okay. Is it required?
is it required?
I didn't think so, no.
So the discretion of hiring for that would be just on me? Okay.
What is the salary?
Be $15, it's 15.152 is what the administrative assistant starts out.
In the same pay scale as the administrative assistants that we have now on staff. And then plus the benefits of our employees. So, yeah.
Thank benefits. After a 60-day probationary period.
Yes, everybody.
Everybody.
60 day. Okay.
Thank you. And then we had emergency repairs to our newest garbage truck. $11,000. Approximately. It was. You want to help explain that, Arthur?
It was a paddle, the bushing in the paddle wore out. And
So, yeah, so it was basically when they dump the can, the paddle that pushes it back, once they dump it in the truck, the bushings were out, and then I guess the whole arm that was carrying it had worn out a little bit, so we ended up having to replace the bushings, the bearings, and the
paddle.
paddle. Which that truck was down, and that's where the emergency part came from.
So it has been fixed.
The truck was
You said
put back
that's fixed.
around Friday.
Okay.
Friday afternoon, the truck was completed and it was used yesterday.
Okay. Thank you.
So it is back in service.
Yes.
Good deal.
Those guys nailed it.
I bet that was moved.
That was fun.
And Arthur's guys did a great job of cleaning this thing out, and I went to go look at it. I thought it didn't smell as bad. Being inside the garbage can. Authorization to engage the ADOC Community Center Inmate Work Program. There's a series of contracts that aren't in here. That it's basically, I'm just, to engage, I'm asking for authorization to engage that program, which would have the commandant and a few other personnel from, the Decatur office would come into town, to discuss this, discuss the particulars of the actual contract and conduct, a certification, an hour-long certification course for as many employees as we can stack into a room. And that way, if we end up approving at our next meeting, the actual contracts, because there is, the contracts read, it's a year's time. And I would like to, negotiate with them to have I guess, a test period of 90 days so that we're not stuck in a year-long contract. And then we have basically a 3-month test, contract before we engage in any long-term. Because I'd hate to have, we end up with 15 inmates showing up every day and it turns out that it's not exactly what we thought it was gonna be.
I think that's a great idea.
Well, that's what I'm asking you guys to give
Just
me
to
the.
tell you to go talk to
Engage
in the discussion.
process.
Okay, gotcha, guys.
And then with that, get that contract, the contract amended to read that way. Then we'll come back and actually vote on that at the next council meeting.
Okay, yeah, I think doing that 90-day trial period time, so to say, we need to do that.
So the idea is they come in and, they wouldn't be supervised, they would transport, from Decatur and then come, and then transport them back to Decatur, every day that we have. And that was another question on their, contract. It didn't necessarily specify a number of days, during the week. So I think that's, 5 days. Or, I mean, if we've got snow on the ground, are they gonna put chains on that bus and have guys come, that sort of thing? And or if we've got 4 days of heavy rain, is that something that, do we want a busload of inmates to come over if we can't have them outside working, that sort of thing. So I had some questions, but I wanted to get authority from you guys to engage in those conversations and try to set up a concrete deal. And then we want to certify, the certification's not gonna cost us anything. They'll come over on their dime to do that. And, but I want to certify as many people in our system as we can so that, going forward, especially in season, we can add 3 or 4 of these guys to, the street department, for cleanup and mowing and things like that to help with what they're doing. And then get, Danny, and those guys at the cemetery, a couple of guys too, to help them, keep in front of the grass and everything that needs to be done in the cemetery. And he's got some ideas on improvements, aesthetics and things like that he'd like to do on the entrances and that, Jackson Highway facing wall and that sort of thing. Have 2 or 3 of these guys working with them every day too. And, so they would need to be certified and, to watch these guys.
Are we gonna use any of them direct? How about that?
Direct to, yeah, I want to try to get as many as we can get stacked into a room and get all of. I don't think it's not a real formal certification. They just want to come in, because I mean, we're not dealing with what you would see on TV, hardened, criminals, and or gang members or anything like that. It's, these guys are non-violent offenders, non-sex offenders. They have no trouble in the system. Most of them are short timers. That, and it's basic information like, no contact with the public, no radios, no telephones, that sort of thing. And, but it's basically an education class more than it is a certification class. But it's something that as many people as possible would need to do And Sheffield 365 road crew manager position would be a starting, the same as a, starting position at the street department. I didn't create a job description. It would be, the job description is the same as a starting position, what's online right now for the street department. This particular person though, for at least this first year, would be the individual that we have on the ground with the inmates street side as we go through. Because we're gonna need, we can't just turn them loose. We gotta have somebody out there at all times when we're going down the side of the street, picking up, cutting, doing all this sort of thing. And the idea too is once we make it through the entire city and hit the districts, then this individual would be, even though they would be part of the street, the idea is to have even a second one at some point so that we have two. They would be the beauty crew so that the guys that we have, they come through and they cut roadsides and keep that sort of thing. Then we've got a second smaller crew that can come through and polish everything. They pick up edge and do some of the detail work on keeping the city because we're going to make the place spotless.
Now, is this gonna be a new person or just gonna be somebody from in the house?
We need to be a new person because I don't think we can give up. I don't think Arthur's going to give up anybody out there to put on the street.
So it's the creation of a position, correct, that we have allocated in the budget? It is going to be allocated in the budget. So, I mean, okay.
Start what position? Where-
It would be the same as right now we're advertising for hiring in the streets. Yes. Yes. Sir. It's just that instead of Arthur getting them, we're going to put them out on the street.
I got you, okay. I was thinking.
Gotcha.
This is not a true management, quote unquote, position. So the pay would be the same as an initial labor.
Oh, okay, that's right.
So Mayor, just for a point of clarity, so these positions, the assistant, the road crew manager position, the bid czar position, we're approving that we create the positions and then put them into the budget so we can, is that correct? Is that what we're doing basically? Just approving that we want the positions created? Otherwise, yeah, what are we approving?
Well, I mean, it's
Create positions, we begin looking for.
none of these are in the budget right now. Well, none of them exist right now.
That's what I'm.
That's no way they're in the budget.
Yeah, so, this will, it'll require an amendment to the budget and instead of having 5 different amendments, the idea is we can have 1 or 2. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right. You answered my question.
Creation of the city event czar. Positions, a part-time position. I did create the, I'll pass those out then. You were asking me about it. I thought we printed it out. I thought I did. Yeah,
I don't think I took them.
I'm not.
But you did, you had them in your hand.
I did. Whatever. So It was an outline. It's a part-time position. The same starting pay as an administrative assistant. Same pay scale, but this would be a part-time position. No medical benefits. Be on a 10 to 20 hour a week basis, up to 25 hours during events season or in any of the major events. This position would also maintain a city calendar, which would be accessible by the rest of the area so that everybody knows what's going on. And I think we've already talked about this.
So will this position go out to the public too? Or how's that work?
Would be the same. Be the same for me to hire that one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, just, well, I just curious.
Do the same.
Curiosity.
I'm asking for a lot. Is there any questions as to why these are all not frivolous?
The only question I got on that event, other than the Christmas parade, is there anything in the works? Well, I guess I'm getting at that to have been planner.
Actually, there's several things that we wanted to add to the city. We've got some of our business owners that are putting together a music event that's going to happen that will happen annually. And then there's talk of beginning a Memorial Day event program.
So I mean, there's something in the works that'll justify having.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because I mean, right now, we got the Christmas parade.
Right, and even that's,
Yes, sir.
But that's what's precipitated the need for this position, just because, we want to add more things, and then with any given month, we'll be able to add a festival in 2027. Also another one.
I mean, I'm just curious because, I mean, that's just what I'm thinking.
Well, Beth has activities at the library. For instance, she already has activities scheduled for next month. And she had some for this month. And so that would be added to that calendar.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and anything the school has going on, the Ritz, any of our businesses, the county, and then try to maintain what the other cities are doing. I've been talking to the other mayors and looking to see if we can centralize a calendar that all of us can actually use. So we would all be posting the same calendar on all of our cities' websites. That way, we have a little integration between the cities.
Would we overlap?
Well, the ideas, for example, our fall festival that we had this year, we had decent turnout. It was a last minute setup for us, but we still had decent turnout. But on the same exact time, Collier County Sheriff's Department was doing the exact same thing just right down the road. They had a decent turnout. Had we had just a little bit of coordination with that, we would have had
2 different days.
And that'll also, if the city of Tuscumbia is planning on doing something at Spring Park, then they would be able to access that and see if Muscle Shoals got anything on that weekend, or if Sheffield has anything on that weekend. And
I see where you're going.
yeah,
So this would actually, provide the information that I brought up at our last meeting, communication wise, for the demographic of our community that do not use social media. Or will it be all social media?
well, it'll be on
But if it has a defined place to go.
it'll be the web, and then part part of the communications vehicle would be social media. And as we talked about, we're always gonna have a certain percentage of our population that, absolutely refuses to look at anything on their phone.
But you could always put flyers of food land,
That's part of it.
restaurant, I mean, that's simple
I
stuff.
think this position would essentially coordinate that, I guess. So there's, okay. That's great.
And I've started the process also of planning like a newsletter. Right, we talked about that, and there's a lot of folks that don't get online, don't want to do it, don't need to do it, or and some that can. So that would give us some. Yeah, cities, whatever. We just we'll mail it to his house. Stick it on his front door. All right. Lisa, do you have anything else? Mike? No. You got it? Jeffrey's to the left. Jeffrey's to the right.
We have the apothecary folks back. I don't know if that's something we can talk about in the work session, or is that something we'll talk about in the?
We do need to talk about, well, we're gonna open that up for a public hearing or public discussion. We can add that to the agenda to.
For the next, we'll need to put it on next, we have to put it out there. We need to announce it now that we're not going to change. We didn't announce it last time. Remember, we had the executive session.
So we can announce that.
Be under communications.
Well, that's what we were gonna do. Yeah.
Will we make the announcement?
Yeah.
Okay. Under communications. Okay.
You said something about that. And so the council meeting is going to be a council meeting / public hearing on selling the Little Rock property, formerly known as the streetcar bar. Yes. To Apothecary Farmhouse Apothecary. Do we want to add, we're going to add that as number 13?
Have a resolution for that.
Okay.
It's announced in a public hearing.
Okay. All right. You got it? You had it? Awesome. Okay. That concludes the work session. We'll call the general meeting to order. Aye.
Dear God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all the blessings that you give this morning. I thank you for the people here in this room, people watching online. I thank you for public engagement, God. God, I pray your protection over the people of this city, of all of our residents, as the cold weather comes through. May you watch over us and you place your hand over it. God, thank you for all your blessings. Please guide our discussion tonight. It's in your name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Stokes. We have a motion to adopt the agenda as amended.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. There is approval of the minutes from the council meeting of January 5th, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Carries. So formal statement that we will have the public hearing for the sale of the city property at 501 Bull Rock Avenue in
February
Sheffield.
the second.
We will do that on our
February 2nd.
February 2nd council meeting. Anything else while we're on this section from you? Ordinance and a resolution. Number one, consider participation in the 2026 back to school sales tax holiday, July 17th through the 19th of 2026.
Have we not done this in the past? Sorry, this wasn't in the work session. We did, okay. All right, gotcha.
Is there a? Oh, here it is.
Yeah, this is paperwork.
You got it, Bonnie.
Yeah.
We have till April to notify them.
Want to put it on there, so we can get it out of the way, so it's not-
Nice.
So we need a motion.
Yeah, it's resolution.
It's a resolution. Yeah. Number two.
We've got a promotion.
Okay, motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carries. Consider approval for the resurfacing and traffic striping on Second Street from First Street to Cox Boulevard in the city of Sheffield. Motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. Consider approval of amending the overtime and compensatory time policy. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. Consider approval of the purchase of the Beast Power Washing Rig via NACOG revolving loan fund. Do I have a motion?
Oh, motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. Motion carries. Number 5, consider approval of adjusting the budget to accommodate the creation of a position of executive assistant for the mayor and opening the application process.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. Consider approval of the Sheffield 365 road crew manager position.
Wait a minute.
We're on 6.
You missed one, right?
Nope.
You missed it. Hey, Doc. Community Center, main work program.
All right, back. Okay. Consider approval to authorize the mayor to execute and talk with the Department of Corrections for the ADOC Community Center Inmate Work Program.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same. Consider, I did. Consider approval of the Sheffield 365 road crew manager position. Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. Consider approval of the expenses in the amount of $11,000 for repair of the garbage truck in the street department emergency. Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. Consider approval to authorize the mayor to adjust the budget to accommodate the creation of a part-time position for city event czar.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, by the same. Consider approval for reimbursement in the amount of $20 to Kendrick Gunn for CDL B renewal. Motion.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. Consider approval for reimbursement in the amount of $20 to Arthur Gunn for CDL B renewal. Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same. Consider approval for reimbursement in the amount of $1,117.94 to Beth Ridgway for the LAA 2026 Library Conference.
Before we vote on it, I'm gonna ask, can I say something before we vote on it?
Make, and then you can.
So moved.
Now to-
Go ahead, John. Go ahead, John.
Now, I got a question, just for my own big brain thing. We were told that we had no say over the library's board. Am I correct? But then here we are, she's wanting almost $1,200 out of us to fly to Chicago. And I guess my thinking is, just because it's me, is there not conferences that they don't have to fly all over the country too? I don't know enough about it. I guess it's my thing. I should do more research. But it just blows my mind for somebody to tell me I have no say over their board. But then I'm turning around with that and giving money to me. And there again, my big brain thinking, if we don't have any say over their board, but we have control over their money, I don't see how I don't have a say in what they do. Or we is up here all together, how we don't have a say in it. That's what's got me bumfucked. Because I mean,
I can say, I go to their board meeting.
when are their board meetings?
I couldn't tell you, it's the same day every month. I've got them on my calendar. I'll call for them too.
I mean, just
That's an annual library conference and it revolves, it's not always Chicago.
no,
It's,
Arizona last year.
yeah,
You know, sure, they went to Arizona last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand it's a conference, but I mean, it just blows my mind that
They meet quarterly, first Tuesdays of January, April, July, October. Library board.
But this is something we paid for before, correct? We have it allocated in the budget to,
that's part of the library budget.
okay. So it's a part of the budget. I understand your point, John. But I mean, it's,
I understand the budget for that, but just
John, I think the answer is the way the act or ordinance that created that library board
yes, sir.
gave the autonomy for the decisions to that library board. Even though I think the librarian is an employee of the city of Sheffield now. It's kind of like a utility department. Although we don't pay for the utility department.
See, now I have to disagree because they fund their own self.
Well, the Sheffield Utility Department is part of the city of Sheffield.
Oh, yes, sir.
And so one of these days in the future, they're gonna come and ask y'all, we need a rate increase.
And they did that right before, they did that right before we went in.
They'll do it again.
Yes, sir.
Y'all are the ones who vote rate rate increases,
Yes, sir.
even though they're pretty much autonomous down there.
Yes, sir.
It's the way they act that created the board, whenever it was passed years.
Same for the rec department.
Yeah, Rick ranks the same way.
Yeah, and that's something, I guess I'm having to wrap my,
Well, the boards are created differently down through history. And it goes back to whatever the ordinance, whatever it said when it was passed. You have the right to, change that ordinance, if you want to.
I mean, nothing gets bad. I'm not, Ben does a great job. I mean, I'm not, but I'm just
I'm just
saying.
trying to explain how.
Yes, I appreciate it.
How that is.
Yes, sir.
Your control, really, the council's control over that board is you appoint board members. Occasionally, a board member will be.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Kind of like the Board of Education, kind of. You will appoint Board of Education members, but you really have no control over the Sheffield Board of Education. But you will pay them money occasionally. They'll ask for money, and you'll give them.
But here's what I guess I'm trying to wrap around it. The rec board and the library board, their money comes from our budget, the city's budget, right?
All I'm explaining to you is how it's
Yeah,
created.
I mean, what I'm saying though is their budgets come out of up here. So, I mean, I guess that's what I'm trying to wrap my head around is.
There's probably nobody alive that was around when those boards were created. It's just part of the city process.
Yes. Okay. Like I said.
Your power is if the council and the mayor would like to change those boards, you have the power to do that. As an ordinance, amend the ordinance that created them. There's the thought.
How do you go about doing that, Keith?
Put it on the agenda, draft the ordinance. Get ready for the firestorm.
I don't care about no fire.
I mean, that's just like the utility, although TVA has some control over that. The utility board was created by an act probably in 1938 or 37, which gives them complete operational authority other than to raise rates, which y'all have.
And when that board, that was in the late eighties, early.
The utility board?
Yeah.
No, it was back in the 30s.
Yeah.
TVA would have controlled that. See, that's an electrical distributor. They have.
Yeah, the only thing TVA they control is the electric side. They don't control the water, gas, water, and wastewater.
And the rates. Y'all get to vote the rate.
Well, I know when we get to vote the rates, so that way it gets the heat off to them.
This is the way it was created.
Yes, I know how that works. But, I mean, that's what cause our budget, their budgets come out of what we do up here. The rec board and the library board, is that correct? We understand that? And rec department budget comes out of,
Yeah, it's in what y'all approve.
but I guess what I'm trying to wrap my head around is we have no say in what they do till they want money. And then when they want money. Yes, ma'am.
They are and but this is reimbursing that.
I understand. I know what this is doing. Yeah, because she's getting paid to go. Yes, ma'am.
It was in the budget.
Well, it was just, when I saw this, I thought this is a good time for me to bring up my concern about that. So I'll be talking to Brian.
So there's a standing motion to accept those expenses. Do we have a second?
I'll second. Go ahead.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the same.
Thank y'all for listening to me.
No worries.
Y'all know where I am.
Always.
I'm fine.
And then we were going to add, quorum to,
Yes.
Well, you don't have to do a resolution for that. You're just gonna revisit it in 6 months.
Or did you want us to come to a vote? We need to come to a vote about the $1,000.
They're not, my understanding, you're not voting to give them 1,000 in 6 months. You're just looking to visit it back and see where we are with the financial part of how much we spent. Am I wrong? Is that what I understood?
So 1,000 is already allocated.
Yeah, but we haven't made a decision to give them the $1,000.
Well, the thousand's already in there. That's in the budget.
The additional thousand.
No,
Okay.
but
They-
we have not voted to state that we're going to give them the $1,000.
No, that's in our budget, already in there. They're in there, they're a standing item every year. That's not something you have to vote on. When you
Okay.
approve that budget, it's in there.
So we're only voting if we change that.
That's. the
But
only
you
thing.
weren't proposing that we vote on the increase tonight?
No.
Okay, that's what I was wanting to point out.
It's already. Get around to sending out everything that's in there. Then it's been approved.
Yeah.
Then they'll get a check.
So get around or what date?
Well, there's not a set date, because right now W-2s go out this month, so we've got to get through all of our tax information this month, and once we finish with that, then this May, and we'll get started on the budget items that were approved.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
So then, Tom Helpman submitted his resignations for the Shoals Economic Development Authority Board and the Riverbend Mental Health Board. To spend more time with his family. He served us well and for a long time on both those boards. And now we have 2 vacancies to fill. Well, not tonight, but those are available. Vacancies. Do we have anybody from the audience that wishes to address the council or say anything?
Yes. Seed spread of, salt spread of what y'all.
Good call.
I forgot.
So the buyer's product salty dog, 11 cubic foot capacity, 30-foot electric poly tailgate spreader and 2-inch or 2-inch receivers. And this is to spread salt on the road.
Yes.
For the pending winter storm Armageddon that is imminent on us this weekend. It looks like, according to EMS, this afternoon, that weather event will begin sometime Friday evening and last through most of the day on Sunday. And they are predicting that it will have a significant impact on roadways and things like that. Can't do that.
I'm just afraid we don't.
So you're afraid that I stopped talking? Just making sure. Step up into.
Mayor, can I ask real quick? So the SOP that we passed last council meeting, that's already taken effect.
Well, the church group, I'm meeting tomorrow at noon with the minister of North Bluff Baptist Church and their church leadership.
Okay.
They felt like that was something they wanted to do.
Okay.
But as with, a mayor and the council, we have, the minister and his leadership, his deacons, or whatever they refer to them in the Baptist church. Also, I spoke with the director of the nonprofit Shoals Shelter today. Nice lady. They actually have a similar program that they have already in place, and it's already active with Grace Episcopal Church in Sheffield. Grace Episcopal is doing warming shelter for daytime and evening this week. And after my meeting tomorrow, I'll coordinate with that group so that we're all on the same page, so we don't have redundancy or competing services. Okay, for this event, and then once we make it past this weekend, we'll be meeting with Shoals Shelter to engage in further coordination. Okay. Then we have a resolution to purchase remind me to say it again, Buyers Product Salty Dog 11 cubic foot, capacity 30-foot electric poly tailgate spreader for 2-inch receivers in order to spread salt on the roads, I guess on our hills. Is that what we're gonna, on the hills? On our hills for this weekend, and that'll go right on the ground Friday morning, Friday afternoon, Friday.
I was gonna say, Arthur, is that gonna be where we get it?
I haven't checked on that. First thing in the morning, make sure we can, get it and find the salt.
I mean, this is from Tractor Supply. Could that be picked up locally and installed as well?
Yes.
Okay, so the $31.99 is not our out the door expense. Because we got salt as well. Okay, understood.
We have a motion for this purchase.
Yeah, I'll give you a vote. I'll second.
Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same.
That even, I know you emailed me something about some resignation.
Yes, so I've served on the Planning Commission, the Historic Commission, and the Beautification and Tree Board. In an effort to hopefully help with the 365, I'm putting in my resignation for the Beautification and Tree Board and the Historic Commission. So they will have openings. Once we get the positions filled, I will still attend the meetings until we get the positions filled. The Beautification and Tree Board has several openings. So anybody who's interested in serving, we meet once a month. Would love for you to participate. It's a really good board. We're doing a lot of cool things coming up with that board. So, and the historic, yes, I'll still be on the planning commission.
And the beautification and tree board were the ones responsible for the string lights across Montgomery.
Yes. Right? Yeah.
Anybody? Nobody?
I do. I just want, we got a new business on Jackson Highway, that Caperton's Gun and Ammo. I talked to the owner the other day, January the 30th, he wants to have a ribbon cutting with all. You know, in a 10, and then 31st of January is their grand opening.
The 30th is a Friday, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know what time?
I do not yet, but I will find out and get it to all of them. He just said he'd like to have, you know, as many as he could, would like to 10. But,
That's fantastic.
he was really excited about being here.
John, what's the dates again? I'm sorry.
30th of January.
And the 31st?
31st, yeah, Friday and Saturday. I know I talk fast, just tell me to slow down.
Caperton.
Caperton, CFP.
Jackson Highway.
You know where it is, you know where it is. Yeah.
Do you guys know where it is? Come to, the ribbon cutting table. Our newest.
Nicely painted.
Yeah. Smart.
That's not.
That's a business, Sheffield.
That's not only public service announcement I got.
That is it for our general meeting. I have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah. No, I don't, I don't,
We'll bring the floor down.
I'm not doing.